Hello, dear listeners. Content warnings for this episode include combat sound effects, distant sounds of motorcycles, gunshots and explosions, descriptions of injuries, standard fantasy violence, loss of agency via mind control, warlock patron trauma, flirting, romance, and references to sexual intimacy. This episode is a bit rough around the edges due to some mic quality issues, so we apologize if it affects your listening experience. If you feel that you missed any important details, we do have episode recaps available on our website. Now, without further ado, we welcome you to Capricious Provenance.
Episode 2 Cold Lights. The Chariot. Strength, ambition, willpower, determination. We must not be passive in the stories of our own lives. A passionate pursuit may feel like battle, but no matter the obstacles thrown our way, we have the conviction within us to recognize that victory is always within our reach. That is, of course, as long as our minds and our hearts are both in harmony. Last we left our heroes, they had left the House Orion Lightning Rail Station in Sharn, headed for Krona Peak and the Moror Holds. They settled down in relative peace for the first 3 days of travel. Snowy brushed up on herbalism, Finch found common ground with a Das Council member, Zarin, and Calais had a vibrant vision from the point of view of someone resting in a crow's nest of a pirate ship. Things escalated quickly, however, when Tibia Lovelace, a paladin of the Blood of Vol, attacked our party, seeking out the very ledger our party stole for the Trust in Sharn so many months ago. We open our scene on a half-destroyed train car with a motorcycle crafted from the skull and bones of unicorns, riding alongside in a wild chase. Sylvanus has found himself under the control and influence of Tibia, and has no choice but to show her where the ledger is. When she sees that the rest of you are unaffected, she goes, "Well, one of you is going to show me. I don't care who." And then she leaps off the train, onto the moving bike, ushering Sylvanus to come with her. Sylvanus. While these ideas are going through your head, a familiar figure appears beside you. It's Pathoch. As he appears, you see he has an arrow knocked, and it's trained on this individual on the bike.
And the way that he holds it is very peculiar. It's almost like on the top of his head, as if he's using his head to stabilize it.
Oh.
And then he lets go. That actually hits. This you see this makeshift arrow fly, and it goes straight for her, and you see another piece of her bone armor extend to block the hit, but it shatters it, and it goes through, and it goes through the weak point in the armor where it
Wow. Jesus! Better than my bullet?
And you see her recoil from the impact. That's Pavlov's turn. It's the bone elemental's turn, and it is going to make 2 attacks. I think it's just gonna go for the first 2 people in front of it. So first one's gonna be against Calais. That definitely hits. That's an 18 plus 7.
You could be nice to us, you know.
I am. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And Snowy, the next attack is to you, and that does not hit. You were just really good at getting away from this thing. Since it's actually using an attack, you actually take 4 more damage, Clay. That is going to be its turn. Sylvanus, you get the feeling that your ride is coming to pick you up.
Oh, okay. Well, as any reasonable person would do, I should make my way over towards that, right? If that's my ride and I'm getting picked up.
You can see that it is going to be moving towards you. Either if you wanted to try to move towards it, or you can hold your action to jump onto the bike when it gets to you.
I'll move towards it. Yeah, he's just gonna like take a couple of steps and be like, I don't know what you guys are so worried about. Really, you're so silly. And just kind of like stand over here and kind of wave at the bike. Just kind of standing here like he's waiting for the bus.
That is your movement, so we'll say that you are ready to hop on.
Snape's gonna look at Sylvanus and tackle him into the train.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Violence. Yeah, violence against
Okay. This is gonna be a grapple check. Roll. This is a contested athletics check, so both of you roll athletics.
What kind of check did you say it was? Athletics?
Uh-huh.
So that's gonna be a big whopping 7 minus 2. So I don't know if you can beat that.
5? No, it's good because I got a 7.
No fucking way!
Snowy, you go to like tackle Sylvanus, but it's more like you're just trying to he's trying to worm out of your grip as you are just trying to pull him back in. You have Sylvanus grappled right here. You can move him, but you'd be moving at
It would be half speed to get him away from the edge.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pull him from the ledge. Come on, Sylvanus, my boy. Let's get away from the edge.
But Snowy, my ride is here.
What do you mean? You're on your ride already.
No, my cool ride is here. I don't understand why you're pushing, and this is.
I don't want you to go.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Calais, it's your turn.
Okay, well, Snowy's got it handled. For the most part.
Debatable.
I mean, she's tackling Sylvanus, so Calais is going to focus on the bone elemental and open their palm, raise their hand up to the sky, and summon a guiding bolt. Nope, I got an 11, that's gonna miss.
You fire off into it, and it sort of just moves it opens up a hole in itself as the radiant energy blasts through, and it closes back up.
Calais is going to sigh in exasperation and thrust their spiritual weapon spear at the elemental. That's a 24.
How do you kill this thing?
Ooh.
Okay. Okay, so Calais is just so incredibly frustrated with this entire situation. Like, they're over it at this point, that they let out a furious cry. And as he cries out, it's like the spiritual weapon moves with their anger, and it flies directly past them into one of the bone elemental's wailing skulls. And it pierces and explodes within the elemental. It almost looks a little bit like blue lightning when it moves around angrily within a cloud.
Yeah, your spiritual weapon glows white hot, and it pierces through the mouth of one of these shrieking faces. It goes straight through it, and you can see it sort of contract and then just explode outward and just dissipate in all directions.
I imagine Calais' hair is just so messed up and all over the place because of the wind blowing everywhere. So he just brushes some of the curls and sweat out of his face and goes, well, that takes care of that.
You still have movement?
Yeah, I just think Calais is going to get closer to the group and watch the sexy biker lady drive their sexy bike.
Well, Finch, the bone elemental exploded.
She looks at this person, just gives the full-on sigh, rolls their one eye, and then runs over here. And then I guess there's nothing else to do. They'll just put up their gun and shoot at the sexy bone mobile. 23.
You fire at this bone bike, and as you do, it impacts and it swerves. You see this sort of crimson arcane flare come out from in between some of the bones, and you hear a echoing cry of a horse as it steers and corrects itself.
My ride!
It's not just one horse, it's several horses.
Sick.
It's Tibia's turn. You guys are in the way. I mean, Finch, yeah. But you're the one right in front of Sylvanus, so...
I know, I did that on purpose.
Somebody is taking me to this ledger, and you see the bone lance extend out of her wrist again. Okay, try to spear you. No, that's not gonna hit you.
I'm used to that. I'm like, ah, this again.
It just goes in between just like a blurred sort of like image of you and just didn't catch you. It's Podloach's turn. Podloach is on a mission. Yeah, I mean he's gonna keep shooting. Are you shitting me?
Oh my god, Padlock.
Did he crit? Did he crit? Did he
fucking
crit?
He fucking- I'm gonna shit. He almost rolled max damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck. So Pablo just knocks another one, and it just goes like, you see, Pablo has just like one eye open. As Tibia goes to try to spear you, and as she pulls back, there's just a bit of exposed like muscle between like where her like pectoral muscles and her shoulder muscles conjoin, and Pablo just lets it fly and just sticks right in there. You hear her cry out. Jeez, that was so much fucking damage. I'm gonna shit my ass. Okay, so keep in mind that grungs get to add poison damage to their weapon attacks. That's the kicker.
Love that for him.
Wow, Mr. Loach, you're so cool.
It is Sylvanus' turn. Snowy is preventing you from getting to your right.
Snowy, I can't keep playing this silly game. I really need to get.
It's not a silly game, Sylvanus.
I don't understand. This is okay. I'm done. He's gonna try to scramble away from you. I'm gonna Misty Step out of your arms.
You are able to Misty Step right onto the bike.
Yep. And he waves. He says, "Goodbye. If you aren't going to help, then I'm just going to go."
Yeah, you do that, and Tibia says, "Finally, cooperation."
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sylvanus, and he sticks his hand out and just starts talking.
So Snowy, Sylvanus just fucking teleported out of your arms.
Snowy's immediately gonna pull out her bow's already out, but like get it ready, and she's gonna cast Ensnaring Strike as her bonus action, and she's gonna shoot Tibia. That's a nat 20 plus 10?
You have whatever your max damage would be, and then roll another weapon damage die.
14.
14 in total?
And then I also have my extra attack in there.
You see the explosion of brambles as this arrow pierces into her, and she is restrained on a moving motorbike.
Oh no.
It's very irresponsible.
Also, Snowy, roll d6 for Hunter's Mark.
That's plus 2, so that would be 16. I can math.
I think you still get your extra attack. It's just
cool.
not an ensnaring strike.
I don't know. I'm very wary because I don't want Sylvanus to like get hurt.
Oh yeah, do it. No, I want to see it. Do it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, do your thing.
That's a 28.
You do not need to roll damage. You hear her just scream, and you see her body lurch over and lock onto the handlebars of the spike, and you just see blood pouring out of her wounds, but she is just locked on with this death grip to her handlebars. You see these crimson flames shooting up from where her blood is dripping into the bike. She's shaking a bit. It's hard to tell where she's at right now. So you are no longer charmed. Calais, it is your turn.
Alright, so Calais is going to unfurl his angel wings as he pops Radiant Soul. And they're going to fly over to, I guess, the moving bike and try and scoop up Sylvanus.
Yeah, I'll say if Sylvanus, if you do not resist, you can fly Sylvanus back with your movement.
I don't resist. He does look incredibly fucking infuriated, though. Very angry.
Calais is princess carrying you, Sylvanus, so you might be able to look up and see Calais give you this pained smile as, you know, you're pouting.
Finch.
Shoot the bike.
You shoot the bike again?
That's a 20. 11 points of damage.
Same as last time. As you fire, you see this burst of crimson flames and the whinnying of just like several echoing ominous horses as this thing is ricketed a bit off course before attempting to correct itself. It is Tibia's turn, and you begin to see the blood pouring out of her slowly begin to soak back up into her body. It's kind of hard to hear just over the sound of everything, but you see her gasp violently. Just in almost that same breath of the gasp, and she just exhales wildly.
How dare you get in the way? You don't know what you're doing. I'll find that ledger.
And the bike whirrs off.
Bitch, come back here.
And I don't even get to hit you!
If you all would like, because I think it would be reasonable for any of you to possibly know this, you can all roll a history check about that bike.
Natural fucking
Natural
20 plus.
Oh, I
No,
also
I'm
got a
not-
nat 20.
What?
I also... No, I didn't.
Well, I did not roll a natural 20, but I rolled an 18.
I rolled an unnatural 20.
Okay, well then.
With those rolls, all of you got a good look at this bike. You saw that it consisted of unicorn bones. You would all know that unicorns are incredibly rare, to the point that most people don't even believe they exist. All of you have also heard stories of a legend surrounding the Karnath army during the last war. Legend has it that Karnath had an entire cavalry of corrupted undead unicorn riders consisting entirely of women. These unicorns were killed and corrupted specifically so that they could be manipulated to fight in a war. There are some who believe this cavalry was completely a myth, but whether or not people believe in that legend, they were wiped out by the end of the war. The reason? Unknown. But there are different theories about who put an end to that cavalry. Some people say it was the Warforged Titans of Breland. Some people say it was the intervention of the war goddess Corinthia before the conception of her children. Some people say it was a special ops unit of Kalashtar who were able to use their psychic abilities to subdue them. There's all different kinds of stories about how they disappeared, all ending in their deaths. But now you're having second thoughts about what might have happened. And Snowy, you'd be incredibly familiar with why Karnath favors using undead corruption.
Fucking Karnath. That's why Snow was very straight-faced throughout the whole trip through Karnath.
See why you dislike it now.
Yes. The worst farewell party from my home.
And you are all out of combat. So you leave the destroyed car. As you are entering, you see the panicked passengers that were on your car. As the attendants notice you, they sort of like rush up to you and go, "What happened? What is going on?"
Don't know, and we need to check and see if our friend is okay.
Oh, okay. And they rush past you to go into that car that you were just in.
Shit, I should have stolen.
Oh,
Let's just
my
continue
goodness.
onward.
You make your way to Zaren's car, and you actually get to like the car beforehand, and you see him coming up through, like he was about to like come up to one of the other cars. People are screaming, I think.
Sounds about
But-
right.
Good to see you're okay.
Okay, why? What's going on?
Ow!
So-
There's no way you didn't hear all of that.
Yeah, a lot of shit just went down.
I was 3 cars down on a lightning train.
You did know it was...
I mean, I heard people screaming from the car adjacent to mine. You're down a few cars. I'm assuming something happened. What happened?
Oh, so there was this woman. Her name was Tibia Loveless, and now that I think about it, her element was made out of bones. Was her name a pun? Anyway, she apparently is a paladin of the inner divinity, and I have no idea what that is. But she was trying really, really hard to get information out of me as to where the ledger was. And then that happened.
Okay, as long as you didn't damage the train. First off, that is troubling. Second of all, what are you talking about? What ledger?
Oh, you know what? You didn't hear shit from me.
Well, by the way, this entire time, Finch just like whipped their head and just staring at you.
What did you do?
Snowy kind of like hunches up their shoulders and kind of like shimmies slightly behind Finch. It's just like, Finch, I fucked up. Anyway,
We did a job unrelated to this. And, it's actually, I don't know, it might be fucking related to everything. It keeps showing up.
Is it related to the blood of Vol?
Is that what that was?
I don't know. Does
You said
anyone?
you said this.
Does anyone
individual
know?
Was, you said this individual was a paladin of the inner divinity. Yeah, that's the blood of Vol's bullshit term for people who are like on the self-righteous path to divine judgment or something. I don't know.
Hate them.
Snowy like does like that disgusted like sneer look when you smell something very yucky, and they're just like, well, it's a good thing I didn't say anything then.
It means you didn't know? What did you take? What is this ledger? Why did you want that? Why are we talking right here? Get in.
Could we please?
Get
I
in
know,
the
yeah,
booth.
Finch is like.
Yeah, you all just cram into this one booth. Okay. Listen, I'm stuck with you guys for a little bit, okay? Unless I just walk out, and I do not want to do that because I do not want to deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm going to need you to be fucking honest with me. What the hell did you do? Do you know what you did?
Clearly not.
No, Snowy's gonna poke their fingers together and be like, no, not really. It happened a while back.
Listen, I just did side shit for a while before we got looped into all of this. Oh.
Frankly, I'm tired of keeping secrets. So, Zarin, we ended up doing this job. Back in Sharn, stealing this ledger that was just so important. But we had no idea what was inside of it or what it even meant. But we stole it. And ever since then, 2 separate factions apparently have been after us. We had a previous encounter on the way to Blood Crescent with the cultist of the Shaper of Nightmares. And now this bone person, paladin of the inner divinity, is after us for this very same ledger. It can't be a coincidence, can it? This means that 2 different factions have the information that we have been in contact with this ledger even though we don't have it anymore. We gave it away to the Trust.
Zarin, he is gripping the edge of the table, and you can see his fingernails digging into it as he says, Okay. I don't care what you did before this, but what I gather, you did a job. You stole a ledger? You stole something. And other people want it. But you gave it to the Trust. Why were you working with the Trust?
They paid us. It was a job everybody wanted to do, so...
I understand. Payment.
We're not working with them, we worked for them.
I get it. Contractors.
The problem with working with the Trust is that they can cover up their tracks. I don't know if anyone besides you or I are gonna know that the Trust is involved.
Unfortunately for you all, the trail stops before it ever gets to the Trust, because they're not getting found out unless somebody rats them out, and even then, they'll make you look like a liar. Either way, it's apparent to me that somebody has given information away about you.
I mean, where was this? What? Where did you get this thing?
Yeah, I think Finch will sit down and just start. Based on the conversation I had with him earlier, I'm okay with telling him.
So you kind of go through it, and he says, "Okay. Oh,
So, you also took a job from a member of the Tyrants, who consist mostly of changeling information brokers.
Yes. And
Well, we can throw finding the person who gave you away right out the window, because it could be anybody. The Tyrants have people everywhere, and those people can be anyone. So, sorry if you wanted to figure that out. That's all on you. But it sounds like that was the only information that was able to be retrieved. That's probably how people got to know you had the ledger in the first place. And that means that somebody is selling that information. From what I hear, you also don't really know what you took. So I don't have any ideas for you about who's after it and why. But it seems like this might be a continuing problem as long as somebody out there is telling people that you had it at one point.
well, I mean, even if we were to go to the source, it's already out. I don't know how much that would help.
Part of me wonders if maybe you should try to get it back.
Get it back. Calais winces.
I as much of the rest of you, don't want anything to do with this, but it's going to keep chasing us. It's just that, Finch sort of like turns to you all. You're all very noticeable. Unless we can get you a way to disguise yourselves a little bit more easier, we might have to find a more direct approach.
Okay. Well, I have a way of disguising myself if it is necessary.
There's not a whole lot I can do about this. And Sylvanus just sort of motions up and down to his entire everything.
New outfits and the look. I don't know. We can.
What?
We can. We can
I mean, maybe a hat similar to the one I have. Yes, that one.
Can't wear hats.
Well,
we put holes in it.
yes,
What do you
this
mean?
hat has a customizable hole that it was really neat actually, but yes.
sorry. Shit, that got me. Sylvanus, I mean, there's ways that we could, dress you. It's a band-aid. We might just want to keep it on the radar. Start with disguising. Getting you a disguise or something. Maybe if we're less visible, we won't have to deal about it right now. Because it seems like we have 10 things to deal with. Can start there. Snowy, we might want to get something for you too. I know you can disguise yourself, but...
Yeah, I can only do that for like an hour.
hopefully, nobody blames you for the hole in the train.
No, I'm going to go spin it that, we were protecting, we stayed back to try and protect everybody from this mad person attacking the train.
Probably for the best, considering that, we're nearly here.
And you realize, during this conversation, that the train has been going up in elevation and altitude. Your ears begin to pop as you look out the window, and you see the track is going up further into the mountains. As it approaches, all of you can see the cold lights of the capital city, Khorvaire Peak, vibrant against the snow-covered plateau in the distance. You eventually arrive in the Maror Holds, meeting no issues along the way. The lightning rail eventually comes to a halt, and the passengers aboard hurriedly gather their things and make their way into the city, many of them clearly still reeling from the events that had transpired earlier in the day. As the passengers exit the train, you can hear one of the lightning rail staff sort of shouting out, "So sorry, there's been a bit of an incident and there needs to be maintenance done on the train. We understand that getting you to your destination in a timely manner is important. We are doing the best that we can. Please stand by." There does seem to be some attendants coming towards you guys. They start asking other people for brief testimonies, just as everyone is beginning to exit, or at least trying to.
I mean, this would be the time if we want to leave, or... I just, once again, until we find disguises, you are all very recognizable. So, just be aware of the stories that sort of will circulate around where you are. Either way.
Okay.
Excuse me. This this individual with two other trained men. Thank you, Joey. They're all human, you notice. And this individual is a little bit older, with gray sort of streaking in his black slick back hair, and he says, "I'm sorry about whatever happened. Were you in that car? Do you know anything about what happened?"
Finch looks at everyone really quick.
Well, Calais shakes his head and goes, "Oh, yes, we were actually in the train car when the explosion happened."
It was an explosion.
Of some sort. It happened in the booth behind us.
Do you happen to know? I can check my records. You didn't see anything? No, a spell being cast or a device? Anything?
It was a little bit hard to tell what we were seeing, I guess. I think the most important thing was trying to escape with our lives and our safety.
Gonna need you to make a deception check.
Nice.
I'll let you do it with advantage because you're all going in on it.
19.
Got a natural 20.
Finch is looking very impressed.
He just nods and says, "Right, okay. Understandable. I would like to say that this is not a normal occurrence, and I apologize if anyone was alarmed or hurt. We will start an investigation, and we'll get the train fixed up. If you are worried about a return trip, we will get this sorted. Thank you for giving me what you know. I'm assuming this is your destination since it is the last stop, so we hope that this does not deter you from riding with us again."
Of course. Just as long as nothing like this happens again, I don't want to have to worry about being attacked on a train ride of all places.
I clearly need to up our security.
Clearly you do. And Calais gives the train man a look of disdain before readjusting their posture and saying, "Thank you anyway. I believe we'll be taking our leave." And Calais leaves with a swiftness, and everybody can follow if they want to.
Easily enough, you're all able to make it off the train. As you step out, there's a lot of people around, just drawing up a big commotion about what happened on the train. The car that you were previously staying in looks as if it's been through a shredder, and is immediately attracting the attention of those who had been at the station. As you make your way off the train and into the streets of the mountain city, you are immediately awestruck at the beauty and architecture of Khorvaire Peak. This is the capital city of the Maror Holds, which is primarily home to many dwarven clans. The stonework detailing in every building has a dedicated intent and story behind its craftsmanship, some of them gilded with gold even. The most prominent, notable building in your sight is the conference hall of the Iron Council. This is where the dwarven clan leaders, as well as House Khorvaire, oversee the entirety of the Maror Holds. Speaking of, you would notice that the people bustling around you are indeed primarily dwarvish, but there are people from all walks of life, and all over the world present. You do notice a handful of orcs with golden tattoos covering their arms, faces, and shoulders, towering above the other denizens of the city. There's a fair number of humans and tieflings as well. It takes you a moment to take in the new surroundings and get adjusted to the higher altitude of the cold mountain air, but you can't help but be in awe of the beauty of the dwarven capital. As you're looking around, you can sort of see your breath through the light flurries of snowflakes coming down on the crowds. Zarin is going to nudge Snowy and point to a section where there's some less people, a little bit more space.
So he also looks over and gestures to the group to head off in that direction.
You make your way over there, and you've got a little bit more space yourself. Everybody again is just congregating around this train station. and you've made your way sort of out of there. And Zayron goes, probably smart to keep that to yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes. That was great. Good job, you two.
Go ahead and anybody who would like to, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Mine
A crit 1 plus 5.
I also got a natural 1.
Okay,
17.
Sylvanus and Finch. You will notice that some of the dwarves walking around here are guardsmen. Some of the dwarves among these guardsmen are wearing a peculiar type of armor. It appears chitinous. The armor seems to have a texture resembling that of an exoskeleton of various insects. And between the different pieces of armor, there appears to be some sort of weird, sinewy, pulsing connectors between them that sort of fashion them into their form. And the hilts of their weapons and their shields have eyes on them, unmistakably. And Sylvanus, for the first time in a long while, you feel like you're being watched.
Oh, fuck. Ooh, Sylvanus is having a bad time. I don't know if he says anything. I mean, if you're paying attention to him, he kind of just, like, stops for a second and sort of, like, squeezes his fists and kind of grits his teeth and goes, not a fan of that. I hate that. And he's just going to sort of, like, nod his head over in the direction of the fucking nasty eyeball bug fuck armor.
I'm assuming I can see it since I got the 17.
Yeah, you also sort of like noticed that like some of these dwarves are wearing some weird ass shit. You don't know what that means, but like looks fucking weird.
Finch is just gonna look at Sylvanus and then sign the code word for help in Thieves' Cant and give him a look just to be sure he can say words still. Like, I don't know if you can or not. That was the whole thing.
His eyes widen and he goes, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. It's fine.
Okay. Well,
Just gives me a bad feeling.
let's make sure to be careful then. And make sure to remember, to ask for help when you need it.
Zayron sort of says, I was going to suggest that we get headed, we start heading out right away, but considering what you, I am assuming, just dealt with, perhaps spending the night in the capital and then heading out in the morning.
It also might give us a chance to figure out how to better conceal ourselves.
Right, maybe that's something you should look into. Don't expect much magical help here, but we also need to find a guide. No offense, but I don't think any of you are probably proficient enough to traverse this kind of mountain range.
No offense taken. I think you're right.
Right, let's keep our eyes out for those things. Find some way to disguise yourselves. Keep an eye out for a guide and see where we'd like to spend the night.
If you want, I could split up and I could go ask around for a guide.
Totally cool. So for those of you looking for a place to stay, can I just get one of you to make an investigation check?
21. Dirty 21.
Yeah, pretty quickly. You're not even really paying attention to the people around you. You're mostly looking at the architecture anyway, just because of how gorgeous it is. You are able to pretty quickly find an inn that's just called the Brass Knuckle. 2 gold a room, like per night, which is not cheap, but this place looks very nice. You get the feeling that this is like a tourist trap place.
Oh.
Just like most of the other buildings, it's very glammed up. There are like a lot of just like weapons and shields and things crafted by like local craftsmen because they have like their names on little plaques underneath them. So Finch, you were looking for a guide.
Yeah. Before I do though, am I alone?
It sounds like everybody else went to go
I'm
look. It is just you, and
okay.
I'm gonna roll to see if Podloach stayed with you. Yeah, you notice everybody leave, but then you notice that Podloach did not leave and is with you.
Yeah, Finch is gonna look down at Podloach and go, "Oh, so you're going to try to find some information with me?"
Mm.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I need to do, we need to find a dark corner alleyway. I'm going to change into something more plain. Okay?
Mm.
And you'll stand on the guard.
Okay.
Okay, great. I'm gonna find an alleyway and then I'm going to change into a human. And I'm going to have brown hair, brown eyes. I'm gonna take out my hat that keeps me dry. It's a cowboy hat because
Okay.
no one
Sure.
can stop me. And I'll put that on and I'll
Stop you.
tip it so that my face is hardly seen.
Sure.
And I'll come back out and I'll nudge Podloach.
You go to nudge Podloach and you realize that where Podloach was, there is a halfling. You look at this halfling with this sort of like wisp of green hair and sort of plain looking clothes, holding Podloach's staff.
Okay.
And he just looks at you.
Okay, let's go. Where would I look for guides? I think Finch usually went to bars to look for intel and like deeper, seedier things. Is there just like a guide place? Place for guides?
Go ahead and make me a perception.
A guide check?
Since you are basically just kind of looking around to see where like you might be able to find someone like that.
Okay, so a decent roll for me again. Oh, 15.
Yeah, with 15, you basically just kind of go walking down the streets. You are not the only human-looking person there. You also realize that this place attracts a lot of tourists. It's enough where like you don't necessarily stick out that much. Like it seems like you're expected here. In fact, so expected that eventually you get to a point where there are people sort of on the side of the streets, basically either offering like sort of pop-up market things. People selling jewelry, people selling sort of leather work, but also people selling services. Some people are selling like, come learn about the dwarven history. I will be your guide as I take you through the city. Have like a little bike powered trolley that can like carry around like 6 people while they like talk about the history of every building they go by, more like that. But you do come across a few individuals that are offering like, do you need to get across the Moor Holds? Like I can take you there. You do notice one person who is like a half-elven individual who is the most notable person doing this because they have a griffin and they are offering to like ferry people over the mines essentially. This guy could probably only take one person.
Oh, gotcha.
But there are a number of other individuals that are offering because it's difficult terrain. So
can I try to give like a once over of them to see like which person may look more experienced? Can I judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, go ahead and just
conceited judgment check.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this is sort of like a weird sort of just like an observatory insight check. So just go ahead and roll that for me.
19.
You can get away with people watching here. There's so much going on, and you'll notice that like a lot of these people that are offering like the guides and things are being very sort of showy about it, and some of them are sort of only offer to like take you to certain places. But you see one individual, a dwarven man with a sort of this dark leatherwork, sort of like adventuring gear, just a full, massive, unruly beard. He's not trying to be flashy and like call people out for things. He just has a sign that says, "Need to get somewhere, I'll take you."
Nice. I will take a look around and then motion towards him and look at Podloach. Go. That seems like a pretty good guide, don't you think?
Pablo Chu was like, just kind of like looking around at everything, looks at you and goes,
Yeah. Okay. That's all I needed. Let's go.
okay.
Yeah, I'll approach.
Okay.
We're looking to get to the Desire Principalities. Could you help us over the mountain?
Ah, the Tsar.
Mm,
Interesting. Well, I'm not gonna take you all the way there, but I can definitely
No.
take you to Cliff Scrape. From there you can take a ferry. I could definitely get you there. You don't want to trust any of these guys over here. They're always gonna try to take you straight over the Maror Hold. They're gonna make you go all over make you go down the mountain, then come back up. It takes forever. It's so they can charge you more. My name is McGuffrey Flintfoot. I can take you expeditiously to where you need to be.
Perfect. You didn't need to upsell me. You look like you know what you're doing. We'll probably be going in the morning tomorrow, or whenever you say it. Yes. How much would you charge?
2 gold pieces a head per day. If you're trying to get to Cliff Scrape, it's a 10-day give or take for your estimations. You know, of course, there's always there might be some trouble. You know, there are things that live in this mountain, and see, the thing about this mountain, the thing that they don't like to tell you, these other guys, is that the mountains don't always, the trails and the paths, they don't always stay the same. You need a guide that will be able to adapt.
I'm sorry. Can I roll another? Because he's trying to sell me real bad, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, roll insight.
That would be 21.
Sounds like knows what he's talking about. Just judging from the fact that like this place is a little touristy, that's probably true. There's probably a lot of people just trying to like trying to upsell tourists on like going somewhere, just because they don't know jack shit about these mountains.
Sounds perfect. I believe you. You seem to know what you're doing. We assume you said 10 days, but we don't know how long it'll take. How do you accept payment? Do you do half and half?
Again, estimated about 10 day. Maybe it'll only be 7 days. Tell you what, you confer with your compatriots. I'll meet with you here tomorrow morning. You pay me for 7 days. If it takes less time, I'll reimburse you. If it takes more time, I'll charge you when it's over.
Okay. That's perfect. Thank you for your time.
I'll be seeing you in the morning. Get rations. Be prepared. I do not provide those.
Yeah, I'll start heading back, and I'll look down at Powdledge and say, you think that was a good deal? I think it's a pretty good deal. Okay.
Now make me one last perception check, so that you can see if you can find an inn, because you don't know where everybody went.
That is okay.
Okay. Yeah, make a perception check. See if you can, or an investigation check.
And I'm probably like, where would they pick? Unnatural 20.
Okay. You do some walking around. You see like a couple places to stay. And you're just like, yeah, these would probably make sense. And then you see the brass knuckle, and you see how like sort of ostentatious it is, and you're just like, God damn it.
That's it.
They're in there.
Like Finch will sigh and be like, this is the one, Podloach. Yes.
Shiny.
Yes. But if you steal, just make sure not to get caught. Okay. Head on in.
I'm just gonna say that y'all were still in the lobby, so that y'all can meet
Yeah,
up.
that's fine.
I mean, I come in.
Except you're in a disguise. Yeah, just.
I am, but I'm in different.
Yeah.
I'm in the same clothes though.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys see a sort
a
of
hat.
normal-looking human with a cowboy hat walk in, wearing Finch's clothes, with a small halfling with green hair. And like the staff, you recognize the staff as Podloach's.
Hello, friends. We've acquired lodging.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking to me? I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you, of course.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Stood there and looked so horrified for like a half second.
Oh no! Oh! I'm sorry, Sylvanus.
Welcome back, Finch. I got us 2 rooms, and Zarin got his own room, of course, and I see you, and Calais thinks of how to say this. I see you changed your clothes. I think I will also change my clothes in one of the rooms.
Oh.
I'm not sure how everybody else... But
I only changed my hat, but that's good to know.
Calais pinches the bridge of his nose and he's like, okay, Finch.
You need help? Is that why you're...
No, I don't. I'm simply
Oh,
saying,
okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
You are just... And Calais is clearly bothered by Finch's everything. Anyway, if anybody else would like to change their clothes with me...
Together?
Together?
Yeah, Finch just laughs. It sounds so much better when you put it that way. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, I mean, I don't need to change my clothes, but we all could.
Finch, you are positively vexatious.
Oh,
And then he just goes up the stairs to change.
Finch turns around to Sylvanus and goes, I don't know what the fuck that word means.
Do we smell bad or something? Why do we need to change our clothes?
Well, I think that I think you smell fine.
Oh, thank you.
I do have some soap if you need some, but
Oh yeah, no, I still have some of those
the
things.
soap that I sipped you, yeah.
Yes,
I think maybe Calais is going to change into something a little bit more comfortable or inconspicuous. So maybe we should get you some different clothing.
Oh, okay, sure. Whatever you say.
So, after Calais is done fiddling around with their disguise, however long that takes, they eventually descend from the stairs, and, of course, you all don't see Calais. You see a shorter, presumably human individual, and they're about 5'10", give or take, compared to Calais' usual 6'3". Both of his irises are now golden with dark pupils, and their ears are now rounded, and their hair is still very long, but it's now bone straight, and a vibrant turquoise ombre that's darker at the roots, and fades out to a lighter color at the bottom. The clothes that they are wearing are just not at all like something you've seen Calais in before. They are very revealing. Most notably, you're able to see golden tattoos running up Calais' right arm and in the middle of their torso, and it resembles something like traditional Filipino BIPOC. And they seem a bit more confident as they approach the group, but then the closer that they get, the more nervous Calais appears. And as he approaches, he starts to scratch the back of his head and says, I'm ready now, so
Oh, wow. Looking good. Want to turn around, show it off?
Who is this?
Calais is sort of paralyzed. They freeze up and look away, like trying to play it off as cool as possible in the moment. Anyway, I'm in my new outfit. I think we're going to need some coats and things. It's very cold outside.
Yeah. You notice that after you changed into this, you were quite cold.
I'm also going to look for something. My arms are out chilly. So.
I'm going to propose a suggestion real quick. Because Snowy and I don't have clothes at the moment, new clothes, clean clothes, and you two do, maybe it would be a little bit like counterproductive for all of us to hang out together when, do you get what I mean? Should we like split up?
An immediate look of fear crosses Calais' face at Sylvanus' suggestion for Finch and Calais to run an errand together. And he goes,
Sure. I don't have a winter coat. I don't know if Calais does, but we could always go get a coat while you get other things.
Yes, if you two want to take care of getting the coats, and me and Snowy can take care of what else do we need? Rations, things like that.
Yeah, okay. I would say you can go to separate places to get those two different things.
Okay.
For about a week's worth of rations, I will say that's going to be a gold piece per person. Zarin is buying all of his own stuff, so you don't need to worry about him. If you even think about offering to pay for anything, he just gives you a look.
I will not offer.
Buys his own shit. For winter gear, that is going to be 10 gold piece per person. Aesthetically, it could be whatever you want. Having it means that you'll be prepared for cold weather. If you do not have cold resistance, which I don't think any of you do. Podloach goes to pay for his things with an entire platinum piece. Does anyone stop him? Probably would have gone with Sylvanus and Snowy this time.
So we don't know about money.
That's not a gold piece. That's a platinum piece. That's too much. It's too big. This one here, and he kind of points to it, is like 100 of these, and he holds up a gold coin. You want to use these the gold coins.
Podloach, who is still currently in a halfling illusion disguise, does that like blinks with one eye before blinking with the other eye.
You know, it's kind of funny when you do that normally, but it's less funny like this. Yes, they are different. Platinum and gold, they are different things.
And then he just takes the gold piece that you have, and then gives it to the person at the counter.
Okay. Yep, that's right. That's a gold piece. Good job. Anyway.
Snowy wanted to see if they could find any like hair dye.
Hair dye?
Yeah, or like a hairdresser.
It takes you a minute, but you are able to find a place that does seem to handle sort of cosmetics and things like that. It looks like they are used to working with maintaining beards and doing braids and like more dwarven style things. But I mean, hair maintenance is available.
Snowy looks at the other two there with and like, is it okay if I do a thing? You know, like we're trying to make ourselves look, not ourselves. My hair is kind of noticeable, as well as my tail. I was hoping that maybe I could change the color of them, just temporarily. I don't have enough spell slots, so I was hoping to just, get it over with the color.
Beyond disguise, I think it'd be kind of fun. So, yeah.
Cool. Would you like to come with?
Do you want it to be like a big reveal surprise, or do you want us to like talk with you while you're in the chair?
I always like your company.
Oh, right then. Let's go, Podloach.
What color are you looking for? We'll determine the price.
Just black. Yep.
Okay, that's gonna be a lot cheaper. So, if you're looking for just black, they could do that. That's probably one of the easiest things to dye in fantasy times. So you're trying to dye your hair and your tail?
Yes, if possible.
Okay, yeah, I'll say 7 silver piece. And it does take a little while, but at the end of it, your hair and tail are dyed completely black. And they did mention that like, this is like semi-permanent. Like if you don't upkeep it, it'll eventually it'll go back, but it'll be a little while.
Okay, cool. Is A-okay? Thank you so much. She turns to the other two.
You look really cool. Like, I don't know. I mean, I always like the way that you look, but this is kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, ooh, like kind of mysterious and like spooky a little bit.
You think so? She kind of just like she does like the nya pose.
So I starts crying.
Oh no! You good?
Yeah, you just look great. You look out, and I'm glad you got a nice haircut.
Oh, thank you. I think I look pretty cool.
You, unless anybody else is trying to purchase any additional things.
Can I roll? Is Clay still avoiding Finch's everything? While we're is it awkward?
Yeah, Clay's just awkward. Just really.
Okay. Can I roll the insight check now, or do you want me to wait another time? Okay.
I gave you this chance.
That's between y'all. Go for it.
I know.
Wink at each other. I gave you this chance.
That would be 22.
You can tell that he's been stressed out since the conversation at breakfast 4 whole days ago, and it's what you said specifically during that conversation that upset them.
I think while we're out, Finch will be quiet, maybe hum, and then whatever we're doing, I don't know, on the way back, Finch will just sort of quietly say, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I want to talk about so many fuck details around you in the future. I guess, yes, no, I do. I apologize.
A few seconds pass, and Calais says, I accept your apology, but where is all this coming from?
Oh, you've been avoiding me. You seemed quite upset, so I can only assume that's...
Have I been avoiding you? And Calais kind of, I don't know, flips some of their new hair back over their shoulder and goes, I certainly have thoughts about I was actually thinking about that night at the club when we Finch, do you remember when you said I was no fun?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm aware you were making a joke when you said it, but, this may be a bit of a surprise to you. And Calais laughs and gives Finch a sort of half smile. But I don't really know how to have fun. Not like most people do. Definitely not like you do. That night in the club, earlier this week, was the first time I had ever had an experience like that. So, you telling me I was no fun bothered me more than discussion of Sylvanus' exploits, I think. And you might think that's like an exaggeration, but most of the parties I've ever been to were about celebrating our holy conception or celebrating victories in the war. And my siblings and I, we basically watched everyone else socialize with each other while we socialized amongst ourselves. We were not seen in the same regard as everybody else. Many of the things normal people do for fun could have been seen as, sacrilegious. And he looks off as if he's recalling a memory before he shakes his head and says, all that is to say, I'm so used to watching everyone else have fun that it's not easy for me to try something that I haven't been able to do, even though deep down I really, really want to. Seeing Snowy being able to do whatever they like without consequence, and seeing Sylvanus get taken on dates by beautiful, rich women, it makes me wonder what it's like to have some real fun, and especially seeing you, Finch, when you, And then Calais stops themselves and shakes their head and laughs. I'm getting very worked up about this. I'm so sorry. You must think I'm so silly for that. Yes. And he lets out a sigh, and you can see the condensation of a winter's breath coming out of his mouth.
I certainly wouldn't know anything about being holy, so. But today, I won't pretend to understand your life, your situation, but if you do ever make the choice to have fun, in no matter sort of way you choose to have fun, I'm certainly around to help you have fun. Okay? We can go drinking, we can talk about fuck details, or, I don't know, play chess. As long as you decide that, I'm around.
So Calais sits with that suggestion, and his mind is racing, and there's a long pause. I have an idea, actually. That IOU from the chess game, do you remember that?
Oh, yes, when you told me that I owe you an IOU.
I don't,
I was going... I owe you right now. Yes, whatever it is. that you want to do, let me know.
Sure.
I'm at your service as a IOU.
Yes, do something fun with me that you might like. But I suppose perhaps now is not a good time since we have a mountain range to climb for what looks like to be a while.
Well, I don't know if there will be fantastic good times, but we can certainly make something happen. Calais, if you're leaving it up to me, though, you're going to have to give me some parameters, because there are a lot of things that could be fun.
Calais is, I guess he's holding a bunch of coats in his hand. And he's
Just drops them all.
Yeah, no, okay, actually, like, you can see him, like, struggle with them a little bit, and he goes, parameters, what do you mean?
Well, Oh, do you need help with those quotes?
No, I've got them. What were you saying?
I'm talking about, we could, I don't know, go drink a lot, have some fun in the town, or we could fuck. I'm not sure. Those things are fun to me. But I guess we could also, and Finch will just like pat around, like, I could teach you how to, I don't know, look at the gun.
I don't know if I want you to shoot it. I'm going to be honest, that might be bad.
Calais laughs and goes, Finch, you are, like I said earlier, you're absolutely vexatious, and somehow I find myself liking that about you. So I think I would like to start out with drinks, maybe, or
Yes.
or a night on the town would sound rather nice.
It's fine. Don't worry. You can think about it.
Um,
If you really do want to shoot the gun, though, he pats the gun a few times. I'll let you.
Yes. Calais kind of looks excitedly at Finch. I'm actually curious. You know, the last time I saw a gun up close was when I was around my sister.
Oh.
Though she shoots a different kind of gun.
Oh.
Yes, she's a sniper. It's really cool.
Oh.
I'm sure she's much more skilled than me, but it's very cool. He ever let you shoot it?
Finch asks you that question, and you think
Oh, nice.
your first immediate thought was, yeah, I would love to shoot a gun. It sounds exciting. I've never done it before. And then you think about your sister, and you think about how she was very good at her job. And you also think about how she never smiled.
Calais, as he's remembering this, he's getting lost in that memory of his sister, and he shakes his head and goes, I'm sorry, what were you saying about shooting something?
No. I was just asking if your sister was good at it and if you've, shot it before.
Yes, well, she was good at what she did. I never really got to spend very much time with her, though. I just always felt she was unapproachable. She never really looked happy with anything. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with, Calaig's noticeably more timid after explaining this, and shakes her head and goes, I'm sorry, we should probably get back to the others and give them their coats.
Which will pick out something really quick and turn to Calais and go, sorry to hear that. But I am definitely not your sister. So maybe we can have some fun.
Right.
And Finch will give you a large smile in contrast and gesture to head out the door.
Calais sees Finch's smile, and their face softens again into an amused grin. I am looking forward to the fun we might have together. And they give Finch a cute little curtsy before walking out the door.
Doesn't it feel odd that the gods live above their children? We only talk with a handful of them, and we just watch how they interpret our guidance. We basically hand a few people some power and tell them to make something to happen. My sister helped raise her children, though I suppose she's disappeared from all of us now, hasn't she? Surely she'll be back. I don't have any children. I didn't make my followers, so maybe my perspective is a little different. What was your name again? You all reconvene later that day. Zarin is not trying to actively engage with you all, but you can see that he's checking over the supplies to make sure everything is in order for the trip. Off to the side, you see him sort of nonchalantly pointing a finger to all the gear. Boots, we have rations, goggles for the snow, okay. And at this point, you've all done so much that night has fallen. You all head to bed to recover from your encounter with Tibia, and wake up fully rested for the next day. Are you all doing anything in particular in the morning before you meet with McGuffrey?
I'm just gonna try. I don't have great perception, but I'm just gonna try and keep my eye peeled for any weird armor, I guess, because that's what freaked out Sylvanus earlier.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna keep my eye open for that, I guess.
Sure. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. Since you're aware of it.
You and Sylvanus will once again take notice of the chitinous guardsmen that are walking around, dispersed throughout the city. You can also see that some people around them are giving them weird looks. Some are pointedly avoiding them, while others go about their business. From the general vibe you're getting, it seems that these people who live here only tolerate them. They'd rather look the other way than confront them about their choice of armor and gear, so to speak.
I'm just gonna stick close, I think, to Sylvanus while we're walking around.
From the general vibe that you're getting, it seems like the people who live here they're kind of treating them in a way that's just like it seems like everybody sort of has an opinion on them, but like doesn't want to make a big deal about it and would just rather like look the other way and just not deal with it.
Are we leaving our hotel right now, or are we still like?
Yeah, you guys are out here in the streets.
What kind of area are we in? Are there any like, I don't know, townspeople or like merchants with carts I could talk to real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I'm also like just sticking close, as long as Sylvanus doesn't tell me to go away.
Yeah, you can make your way over to like somebody just sort of selling like jewelry, like on the street.
Oh, sorry to bother you. I'm a bit new in town. I'm just passing through, but I have to ask. You seem like someone who's been here a while. Is that usual? Are those fellows always out there like that? What are they for? Is that some sort of patrol, or?
And are you just like pointing out one of these individuals?
Yeah, not like super explicitly. He's not going to literally point his finger at them. He's just going to kind of nod in their direction.
You approach this dwarven woman with red hair. She's got a thick beard that's sort of braided with these jade stones, and she says, "Oh, you must be a tourist. Those are the Solengap tribe, Solengap clan members. They're always bringing up weird things that they find in the mines. People have confronted them about it, but none of the clan leaders seem to really want to do anything serious about it, considering that Solengap has representation in the Iron Council. But I don't know. It's just weird things that they find, and they just wear them around. They haven't been doing any harm. It's just unsettling.
They find those things that they wear. Are they living? Is it some kind of ore that they mine? What is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of, like relics or something that they find. I don't know. You tell me if it's living. I saw that shield blink at me.
He shivers. Yes, nasty sort of business. I wouldn't want to get mixed up with that. I'm glad to hear they're not doing any harm. Strange. I would avoid it, personally.
You and everyone else.
Well, thank you for your time. You have a wonderful day. And he'll kind of make his way back over to the group, and give a little shiver and go, I don't like those. I don't know what that is, but it's giving me all sorts of red flags.
Not to be. I just don't know another phrase. We should keep our eye out. Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. Sylvanus. We should.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's fine.
So you make your way over to McGuffrey. Yeah. Podloch has not bothered to keep up his illusion, as the winter gear that he is wearing covers up most of him. And he's having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what the best way to walk is, but he's managing.
You want to ride? You want to sit on my back or something?
You don't even get to finish the sentence before he is climbing.
Okay.
Your back.
Wow, you're very good at that. Well, hopefully you can hang on tight. I'm not that strong.
You quickly realize that he is adhered to your outclothing.
Okay, perfect. And now I have a little Yoda that I'm carrying around.
You make your way over to the meeting spot, and McGuffrey recognizes you and says, okay, so this is your traveling group. Well, good to have you. Nice to meet you all. My name is McGuffrey Flintfoot. Won't ask for your names. I don't need them. So what you're going to be paying upfront for 7 days, and there's a potential to pay more or less depending on how the trip goes. But to cover everything when you get there, it's going to be for all of you 70 gold. Now, as I discussed with your colleague here, we are going to cliff scrape so that you can have sort of your entry points to the Lazar, as I understand. I'm presuming you're all geared up. It's real cold out there. The city is a little warmer just because we have some of the forges underneath. Keeps the streets warm. But out there, not going to be warm until we get to the Fist of Onatar. So.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, no time for dawdling. Let's get moving. And with no time wasted, McGuffrey leads our party out of Krona Peak, headed south along the Iron Root mountain range. The air is colder, the party just a bit wiser, and Podloch is Podloch. But nothing could prepare our party for what lay ahead, breathing deep beneath the snow-capped summit of the Maror Holds.
Thank you so much for listening to Capricious Provenance. If you like what you heard, don't forget to rate our podcast and follow our social media. This episode, I'd like to give a special shout out to Drac, also known as Draconiques. They had this to say about the podcast. Okay, now I'm listening to Capri Prov. I'm like 10 minutes in and I already love all the characters with all my heart. Thank you so much for listening, Drac. And if any other listener writes a review for us on any social media platform, we will happily read it out loud at the end of our episodes. See you next time, dear listener.